Hello, good afternoon guys. Welcome to another video from Windowslovers.com. This is your host Prajwal, and in today's video we're going to see how to solve Wi-Fi doesn't have a valid IP configuration issue on Windows 10 system. So let's get started. So Wi-Fi doesn't have a valid IP configuration. So this is a error message that you receive for multiple reasons or different reasons, or every time there is any issue, or when you run the troubleshooter for Windows 10, this is all you get. Okay, so there's different reasons and there's lots of ways to fix this. I'll jump into the major ways that I've personally solved this issue and that has been working for a lot of users. So before we start, what I want to do is I would check if your internet is functional. Okay, so what you got to check is get another device, get another phone, or get another laptop, and see if the internet is working on that phone. So we want to eliminate as many problems or as many points of failure that we can have. So if your laptop is giving you a Wi-Fi it's saying that your Wi-Fi doesn't have a valid IP configuration. So what we want to do is we want to make sure that the access point has the correct configuration. So if you connect your device, another device, to that access point, and if that is working, so that means that there's nothing wrong with your router or your modem, and then there's some issue with your laptop itself. So you don't want to spend time fixing the wrong things, or you don't want to spend time or waste your time fixing on things that are already working. You want to find where the point of failure is, or where there might be the issue, or where you should be looking at. Okay, so first things first, if you've tried it on another device and it's working, we'll move on with this tutorial. Okay, all right, the first thing I would do is I'll try and see if I can sort of toggle the things around by just switching the hardware off. So by Windows 10 has a airplane mode where you can just click on the bottom right corner that shows your network and internet settings, click on that and just click on the Wi-Fi, or you can alternatively click on airplane mode. So if the color is blue, that means that settings or that mode is on. So at the moment Wi-Fi has gone off, so that means Wi-Fi is disabled. So when you enable the airplane mode, what happens is it turns off any wireless device on your computer, including your Bluetooth. If you have infrared or anything, any wireless communication device will be turned off when you enable the airplane mode. So do try turning Wi-Fi off and see if that helps. Second thing is try turning the airplane mode on and see if that changes anything. And I would suggest you do a system restart. So restart your system and see if that has made any changes. After working in the tech support line for a couple of years, I can confidently say that, or at least 8 out of 10 problems are solved by a simple restart. And it doesn't make sense, but it does solve a lot of issues because it resets any files or any programs that might be running in the background that is creating these discrepancies in your system. Second thing you would want to do is you would want to reset your network settings. So if you are an iPhone user or an iOS device user, you know there's an option to reset your network settings. On Windows 10 you have a similar settings or similar option where you can reset your whole network settings. So on the bottom left corner where it says type here to search, click on that and type in network reset. And it opens a small window and it says this will remove then reinstall all network adapters and set other network components back to their own settings. You might need to reinstall other networking softwares such as VPN client. So what this does is it resets your, for example, when you reinstall Windows and when you reinstall drivers and when you reinstall your network drivers and everything, and you have to go back and connect to your Wi-Fi networks, and you got to make all the changes or any configurations you might have, for example your VPN that you might have connected on your PC and everything. So this resets the network part of your computer. So before Windows 10, before this feature, to do a complete reset on your devices and everything, there's an option to uninstall drivers, but if you do a complete reinstall of your Windows operating system, then you get a fresh installation. So this option, what it does is it only resets, or it does a fresh installation of your networking components on your computer. So any issues or any issues or any discrepancies in your networking profiles will be reset when you do this. Okay, the only thing you got to keep in mind is if you don't have your Wi-Fi password or anything like that, you'll have to enter that again. So you make sure that you remember, or you know where to get your network password from, your Wi-Fi password from, before you reset it. And before you do that, your system will be automatically restarted. So you got to make sure, if you have anything that's not saved, a Word document or anything like that, or any tabs you might have open that you want to save it, so make sure you do that before you reset your device. Okay, and now all you got to do is just click on reset and click on yes, and this will reset your complete network settings. All right, number 3 is resetting your IP configurations. Okay, so for that, what we're going to do is we're going to open command prompt. So just type in cmd, or you can just click on start and then type in cmd. Before you open it, you got to make sure that you open as an administrator or run as an administrator, because you won't be able to do this as a normal user. So right click, run as administrator. You might have to enter a password if you are not an administrator, but I'm logged in as an administrator. So all I got to do is just click on yes, and now it's opened. All right, so the commands you got to enter will be in the description as well, or there's a full article on Windowslovers.com that goes through the exact same steps that I mentioned here. So if you want to follow an article instead of the video, there's a link in the description, so you can just follow the article in the description. So what you want to do is you want to type in IP config, no space, and now space /release. Okay, so what this does is, as you can see, my internet connection has been disconnected. So what this does is it releases, so every time your network adapter connects to the internet or your modem, it receives an address for itself. So there might be some issue with that address. So what we've done is we've released any addresses that might have been assigned to your adapter. Okay, now what we're going to do is you're going to type in IP config space /renew. What this does, it will go and renew the IP configuration that your Wi-Fi adapter has received from your router or your modem. Just give it a couple of minutes, or just a minute. Now try to go and browse the internet and see if the issue has resolved. If not, just do another restart. Follow step 1 and step 2 as an IP config /release and IP config /renew once again, and give it a go. Okay, if not, just move on to step 4. Alright, so number 4 is reinstalling your Wi-Fi drivers. Now, every computer, every laptop or every system has a supplier that provides drivers for it. So for example, if you have an Asus laptop, what you can do is you can download drivers from Asus. Okay, alternatively, Windows or Microsoft has default drivers for any network adapters and any devices that is connected to the computer it's installed on. Okay, so sometimes one or the other works better for your system, so you just got to try it out. So what you're going to do is you're going to click here, type here to search for device manager, and now find network adapters, expand it, and look for something that says wireless LAN card or wireless network adapter, something like that. Okay, so what you want to do is right click, uninstall. What you want to do is you want to click on delete the driver software for this device, and then click on uninstall, because if you just click on uninstall, what will happen is it will still have the INF and all the database files for the drivers, and when you restart your system or when you scan the system again, the same file will be installed on the wireless card. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to right click, uninstall, click on delete the driver software for this device, and then uninstall. Okay, and now you will need to download the drivers. So it's up to you how you want to do that. So what you want to do is, so for example, I have an Asus laptop. So what I will do is I'll do Asus Zephyrus Z15 Wi-Fi drivers download. So all I'm looking for is a official link from Asus. For example, I can go to Zephyrus, and client, I can go and log in and I can download the drivers. Okay, so you got to find a way or find the official drivers. So for example, if you have an MSI laptop, just go to the official site, log in, or just select your model and then download the drivers, Wi-Fi drivers for your system. Okay, now after you've done that, after you've downloaded it, install them, and always do a fresh restart of your system before you try and see if the Wi-Fi is working. Now if that doesn't work, what you want to do is you want to try and install drivers from Microsoft. To do that, what you want to do is right click, uninstall, delete the driver software for this device. But instead of installing anything else, what you want to do is you want to go to Windows Update, and what you want to do is okay, it's giving me to install these Windows updates, but I'm not going to install them now. So there will be an option to check for updates. So what you do is if you just click on check for updates, it will check for updates, and it will check for any device that's connected to the system is missing a driver. Since we uninstalled the driver for the Wi-Fi adapter, what this will do is it will go and try to download drivers for that device as well from the Microsoft server. So in that way, you will get a driver that Microsoft thinks is better for Windows 10 and your hardware. Okay, after that's installed, what you want to do is you always want to restart your system before you do any changes. So after you restart, I suggest you to follow the step 2, where you go and reset your IP config and then give it a go. Okay, if not, we move on to step 5. Windows 10 by default has Windows Defender. It has advanced or adequate Windows Firewall, which protects you from a lot of malwares and a lot of intrusions as well. So, but if you have another antivirus on top of that, you want to make sure that that antivirus or internet security is not creating any issue. All right. So, for example, if you have Kaspersky or if you have McAfee installed on top of your Windows 10 installation, chances are that is creating some issue. So try to not uninstall it, but try to disable that and see if that makes any changes. So sometimes your DNS is your domain name service might have an issue. So in that case, what we can do is we're going to route our internet connection or traffic through the Google's open public DNS, which can solve the issue temporarily. So what you want to do is right click on the network adapter and click on open network and internet settings. And what you want to do is you're going to expand that, click on change adapter settings, and find your Wi-Fi adapter. So this is my network LAN cable, this is my Bluetooth, this is my another LAN cable thing. And what I want to do is I want to right click, properties, find internet protocol version 4, click on properties, and you'll find use the following DNS server addresses. Click on that and enter 8.8.8.8.8.4, or you can also enter 8.8.8.4.4. It's up to you. Click on OK. You can close. You can disable this and enable it just to ensure that the DNS server kicks in, and have a look if that solves your issue. Okay, if not, we move on to number 7. All right. Sometimes when you install a lot of applications, and there might be some applications that require connection to the internet. Majority of the applications do require the internet for to get the updates or to send the users information and everything. So you want to make sure you want to do a fresh or a clean startup and see if any applications are creating discrepancies and are confusing the network adapter to connect to the internet. What you want to do is click here, type your search, click on system configuration, open system configuration, and if it's on normal startup, what you want to do is you want to click on selective startup, and you want to make sure that everything is ticked, load startup items. You want to go to services, and what you want to do is you want to click on hide all Microsoft services, and you want to disable all. So what this does is when your Windows starts, there's certain services from Microsoft or Windows itself which requires to start your Windows or log you into the Windows. So you don't want to disable those services. Okay, so when you click on hide all Microsoft services, this will hide any critical services that might need to be run when your Windows starts. And then what you want to do after that, after you've disabled everything, we want to go to startup. you want to click on Open Task Manager and have a look if there is anything that you think your Windows doesn't need when it's starting up, and disable them. And then do a restart of your system. Log back in, maybe do the ipconfig reset or release once again, and see if you can, if your Wi-Fi doesn't have an IP configuration issue is resolved. Okay, so I hope one of these steps will help you solve your issue. If not, please leave a comment and we'll go. You really don't want to reinstall Windows just for this, but sometimes your hardware might have issues. How you can check that is, if your laptop has a LAN port, what you can do is you can just take a LAN cable and connect your computer directly to the router or the modem. Or if you have any other computers, what you can do is, if for example your laptop is not connecting to the internet, you can get another laptop which might have a LAN port. What you want to do is you want to connect that computer directly to that router or the modem. So what this does, that it eliminates that there's some issue with the laptop or the system or the Windows itself, and there might be some issues with the access point in the router or the modem. Okay, and last thing is you want to try and swap your router to something else and see if that is solving the issue. Okay, so it's all about finding where the issue is, more than just reinstalling Windows. And if at the end nothing works, you can try to restore your system to an earlier point, or you can just do a soft reset. I'll leave a link in the description so you can check that out as well. If you have any issues, if you have any questions, or if you just want to have a chat, leave a comment and subscribe and hit the bell icon, and make sure you like this video if this has helped. Thank you, and you have a nice day.